One more sleep, and we are into the biggest day of our modern history in the last 16 years, questionably our biggest ever day. I feel like every video we do, this is what we are talking about. How big is this game tomorrow? I'm absolutely buzzing about it. Absolutely buzzing about it. Just wish I would be there, but I'm not. But we're going to have a big family party for the event anyway. And yeah, hopefully, there's going to be some good news. But there is this game of smoke and mirrors that we play. I've done the videos yesterday. Russ has been doing the videos recently, and we've been talking about the smoke and mirrors that David Moyes likes to play with the press and the fan base and the opposition. And I get it. It's completely justified because you don't want to give too much away in preparation for the game. But anyway, welcome back to the West Ham Network. Hope you are all well. I'm Anton. I hope you're keeping safe and well, of course, as usual. If you're new around here, of course, what you need to go and do is hit that subscribe button. We're on the march to 20,000 subscribers, so we want you to click in that subscribe button. And then beside that, there's a little bell notification. If you can hit that bell notification, that will notify you when we do go live for shows as well. And yeah, of course, on top of that, go and check out the big walk that Russ and John Ratomski from the Irons Support and Food Banks are doing this weekend, Saturday the 19th of March. They are walking from Wembley to the London Stadium to Upton Park via all the very famous statues. So make sure you go to ironsfoodbanks.co.uk and give anything you can towards the charity. What an amazing walk and achievement that will be. Let me jump into the chat, see who's kicking about, and then I'll get started on the show, of course. Afternoon, everyone. Lauren, good to see you. Hope you are well. Peach is in the house. How you doing, mate? You okay? Ludders, you're in. Are you keeping well? I hope you are. Mark Alexander's in the house. Good to see you too. All talking to each other. Nice to see Peter Quadruple X. Afternoon, brothers and sisters. Hope you're well. Terry, good to see you. Hey, you beautiful hammers. Good to see you, mate. And hope you are well, Yuha. Hello, all hammers and hammerettes. Richard Cox, Mr. Cox is in the house. Afternoon, everyone. Hope you're buzzing about the game tomorrow, mate. And not just that, but Sunday as well. Oz, yo, Anton, good to see you. I'm fine, thank you very much. I'm actually freezing cold today. It is actually, and up in here we use the word Baltic. It is absolutely Baltic. So I've got a heater right below me. I'm also working as well, so I will need to do a kind of reasonably quick daily show, and then I'll go back to the office, which is the house as well. Terry is saying, looking for 3 tickets if anyone isn't going. I know it's unlikely. Are you talking about for Thursday, Sevilla, Terry? Have you not looked on the West Ham website? I know yesterday tickets were released. I don't know if they are still there or if they've gone. But there you go. One more sleep. Thought it was like a lot more sleeps to Christmas, Anton, but it does feel like Christmas, doesn't it, Peter? Does it not? I mean, is it one of the biggest? Is it the biggest game in the last 16 years? Is it? Does it go down as that? Does it trump? I don't know. Get your comments in and let me know your feelings about it. But yeah, I think it is, and I think it's going to be so important that the fans turn up on the day and do a job. That's the key thing here. The fans, everyone has to do their job. Moyes has to do the job. The players have to do their job. But the fans play a big key, vital role tomorrow, and we need to make that stadium 8:00 kickoff absolutely rammed, absolutely jumping. Get the voices heard, put the pressure on to Sevilla very quickly, and let them know that, we've never seen anything like this before. And we know when that noise gets going in that stadium, going around the ball, it's very piercing, and we want that to send the fear factor to Sevilla as well. Peach, how are you, mate? All talking to each other. David, you're saying you're nervous about the game. I feel like I'm going into a brain operation. And you're right, mate. I think it's all about, trying to work out who's going to be fit, who's going to be able to play. Are they going to be able to play the full game? If not, what tactics is Moyes going to do? Who's going to be fit for Sevilla? Of course, we're expecting 2 press conferences today. We're expecting both David Moyes and the manager of Sevilla to be talking today, but equally we know that they don't give a huge amount away. So later on this evening, you'll see a preview coming out. Got some really cool guests coming on for that as well. Just waiting for confirmation of one of them, but you've seen them a lot recently in the mainstream media, so hopefully we'll get that confirmed today. So join us for the preview where we'll talk through the press conference and who potentially will be playing as well. Looks like the fish are blowing bubbles, and you've just corrected me on that as well. I've not done the job, but I will. Don't you worry. It'll be done extremely soon. Don't you worry about that. Tim is in the house. Hope you are well as well. Drain Hole Hammers. Afternoon all. I cannot wait for tomorrow's game. You and me both, and you and me and a million other, like loads of other people as well. Loads of other people as well are thinking the same. Ludders is saying, why am I so nervous for tomorrow? Because it's for a place in the quarterfinals of the Europa League, and the Europa League is a very well thought of European competition. This isn't the Intertoto Cup. This isn't, I know it's not the Champions League, but it's not the Intertoto Cup, and West Ham are still in the deep rounds of this, and we're still there come the middle of March. It's so important, and yeah, definitely nervous, but let's hope that the players don't feel that as well. David is saying, I've just had a baby, been too busy to go on them. I miss it. I hope all is well. Anton, yeah, cool, David, and congratulations. I didn't know that, mate. I hope you are well, and can you let us know what you had? How old is the baby? What's the name? Because I've also had a baby in the last 4 months. He's 4 months old now. My little boy called Joey. That's my third child. So, yeah, let us know, and congratulations to you, David, as well. Yes, I'm looking for Thursday. Website are completely sold out. Let's all pray for Terry. Let's all pray for Terry. Lauren, I don't. Lauren, I don't. I don't have a wager on West Ham tomorrow. I don't bet. But we won't go down that route again. Next one, David. Dare I say it's a massive, massive game. Massive. West Ham are massive everywhere we go. And let's just hope we can do that tomorrow and get ourselves into the next round of the draw. Biggest game since the 1980. Wow, huge, isn't it? Absolutely huge. Biggest game ever. Buzzing from Peach from the West Ham Random. Peter X is saying stomach is like a washing machine. Biggest game since playoffs against Blackpool. Absolutely. Afternoon all, you get a special cream for those Baltics. Oh, I love that. Are you doing the press conference? So it depends on what time, because normally on a Europa League game, the press conferences get released a lot later. So obviously we do the Hammers headlines. It goes out at 5 o'clock. So obviously go and check out all those shows that we do in association with KUMB. So if your press conference does go out later, I'll probably just throw that into the preview show. So make sure you join the preview show at 9 o'clock, and we'll go through that as well. We need to be the 12th and 13th men, women tomorrow night. Nail on the head. Absolutely. Preach, Anton. Europa, baby. Kimball's in the house. Good afternoon, all you lovely people. Good afternoon to you as well. So many funny comments in here. David is saying her name is Summer, born Valentine's Day. I'm 46. Didn't think my dick would go out anymore. Oh, David, mate, congratulations. I'm buzzing for you. Summer, born on February the 14th. So that's like a month old. So I'm 3 months ahead of you on the third. Is that your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth? You got your own West Ham team. Go and let us know, mate. But congratulations, David. I'm absolutely delighted for you as well. Love seeing everyone talking to each other. But let me kind of move into a little bit into the show, and that is, according to the reports, Mr. Aaron Cresswell is likely to be fit for West Ham's crunch Europa League game with Sevilla on Thursday, while Mickey Antonio faces a late fitness test. Now, both Aaron Cresswell and Antonio limped off during the West Ham's win over Aston Villa on Sunday, with Cresswell suffering a knock to his ankle. Antonio then pulled up holding his hamstring. Antonio was, of course, replaced by Yarmolenko in the 52nd minute, with the Ukrainian going on to open the scoring 18 minutes later. Cresswell joined Antonio in the treatment room just 5 minutes later after left-back was replaced by Ryan Fredericks. Cresswell, though, was seen walking out of the London Stadium unaided and without a limp post-match, and we understand he will be available for the Europa League clash. We're led to believe that Antonio hasn't suffered a hamstring injury as first feared, and it is just an issue that's within his thigh. It's hoped that he will be fit for the Sevilla game, and the 31-year-old, we understand, is 50-50 chance of featuring for West Ham in the huge clash against Sevilla tomorrow night. I think the initial kind of worry about Antonio's injury was it wasn't great, and the whispers were he could be set for another month to 6 weeks plus on the sidelines, because obviously we've saw him previously with hamstring injuries over the last several years, but this season he's been doing really well in that department. But it seems to be that there could be a bit more positive news regarding his injury, and he may feature in some way for the game tomorrow. Now, if that's going to be starting or coming off the bench or starting and playing the whole game, who knows? But it's looking a bit more positive than normal. Now, the key question is, and I'm going to ask you in the chat, would you risk Antonio? Because when I think back to the injury as well, it's when he's like sitting rubbing his knees, like he's sitting rubbing his thigh, sorry, isn't he? And your first thing you think of is because of his injury record, having the hamstring problems, that is this going to be a problem for West Ham? How long is he going to be missing for? People will then say it's maybe not so bad because we've actually been trying to think that we should be resting Antonio, we should be looking at other options. Yarmolenko came in and he gave us a whole new dynamic in the team when he did come off the bench. But equally though, fan base have been calling for issues with Yarmolenko and didn't really want Yarmolenko playing for the team. But having Antonio fit against Sevilla, for me, is vital, is really, really vital. And I think back to the Sevilla game in the first leg, like they did struggle on several occasions to handle him. There was a couple of points where he grabbed the ball and he took it around the defender, and the defender didn't know how to physically hold on to him, and they tried to pull him down, and he like shrugged them off really easily. His kind of dynamic, no nonsense, bullish ability to just drive at teams and cause them bother, his hold-up play, his strength to hold up play when he plays with his back to goal and he allows other players to come in, is vital for West Ham, especially at home. And I actually think having a player like Antonio at home with the fans on the back of Sevilla, it would be huge for West Ham, would be absolutely huge for West Ham. And we've got such a big game on the back of the Sevilla game when we travel to Tottenham as well. And that's a key game because we know how much Antonio likes to play against Tottenham. So it's just a case of, I think West Ham will do all they can to make sure he's fit to some extent. Now, for me, I don't think they would even risk him if they felt like he would have only 30 minutes. This is where I'm at with this, and I want you to agree or disagree with me. If they think and deemed Antonio fit just for 30 minutes, he won't play the game. If he only plays for 30 minutes, he's fully fit, but it's a tactical decision not to play him for the full game. Do you agree or disagree with that? I don't think Moyes wants to risk these players for the sake of it, because there's a risk of playing Antonio from the start. And if there is a risk attached to it and he pulls up after 10 minutes, that could happen generally in any football match. But I don't think that's a great thing really for West Ham to do. I'm going to jump into the chat before I move on to the next part of the show as well. Congratulations, Dave Lauren is saying. Congratulations. First baby, good man. Peach is saying, love that energy. Absolutely, mate. You've got to do it anyway as well. Can any youngsters play tomorrow? Are they eligible? Youngsters can play tomorrow, but I mean, the question is, would you put some of the youngsters out on the park tomorrow when you've got the Fornals, you've got the Benramas? I've done a show on Benrama yesterday, a big opportunity for him to step up to the plate and show the world what he's absolutely capable of doing. I just can't see it, mate. I really can't. Peter is saying need to make sure they are fit and not worth the risk, as they will still have games to try and get Europe place for next season. Absolutely. And if West Ham do move through to the next round of Europa, the last thing you want to do is lose the starting lineup of your team. Last week when the injuries were coming in thick and fast, you were then thinking, oh, there it goes. There's a season. There's 4 big players: Vlasic, Bowen, Antonio, Cresswell, all gone. But now we're hearing news that Vlasic may be coming back, which we'll talk about in a second. Antonio might be 50-50, and Cresswell probably will be available. So it's not looking so bad again. Gaza says, I would have Antonio on the bench if he passes fit. Ludders is saying, he's got 2 games for Jamaica soon as well. I know. I don't know what's going to happen with that situation, especially at his age. But again, can we really stop him from doing it? We can't. He's given a lot to his West Ham career, and they're not going to stand in his way. And I don't know if they really can stand in his way, but we'll see. Loving this positive news on the injury. Wouldn't risk Antonio from Peter. Antonio loves playing Spud. Yep, he does. Absolutely. Lauren says, had a sneaky look at the Man United channels last night. They were in meltdown. They were, especially after getting knocked out. Don't look like Bowen could make the Spurs game either, but we'll talk about that in a second. Peter says Antonio wants to go to Jamaica because he's lost. Peter is saying Bowen probably out for the season. Well, let me jump on to the Bowen situation as well. with regards to Jared Bowen and Vladimir Sofal and the likes of Vlasic as well. So elsewhere, Jared Bowen and Vladimir Sofal are again likely to be missing for the matchday squad on Thursday, while there are also doubts apparently for the Sunday's clash against Spurs. Now, Russ brought to you the other day that he saw Sufal warming up in the stadium before the game, but they think that was more not for a fitness test for that game, but just to see where he's at, running around on the pitch, etc. So he's maybe getting closer and closer, but it looks like Bowen and Sufal will be missing, not just for the game on Thursday, but also for the game against Tottenham. Vlasic missed out against Villa, having picked up a knock versus Sevilla. And I think he's been kind of showing a bit of form. But the Croatian is set to return to training this week with the injury not deemed a major one. But the biggest issue really is, and as it was reported yesterday, Bowen's injury has become a mystery with in-form forward, regularly attending scans with no really major results coming back. This impact injury is a little bit concerning with regards to Bowen. What is most concerning is yet we have heard anything concrete from the club, proving that it's trickier than just a standard knock picked up each week. So what a huge loss it would be to not have a player like Jared Bowen available. There was a glimmer of hope that he may return against Sevilla, but that looks like it's been knocked out of the park, and also for the Spurs game as well. Bowen is a big game player for David Moyes, and manager won't be happy that he'll be without one of his stars, and he has been so reliable since arriving. But I believe West Ham are planning as a minimum, for the next two games without Jared Bowen, just to expect that. The key part here and the worrying part is it does remind me of the Cresswell injury. I mentioned at yesterday's show. It really does, because if it's impact and he can't pick up on it, I mean, I've heard some rumors today saying that there could be a bone break in there, but we have to wait and hear what the concrete word comes back from the club in relation to Jared Bowen. But the problem is, will we get the news? Because Moyes does play smoke and mirrors, and we'll find out a little bit more come the press conference later on. But we'll see what happens. But it'll be disappointing that we won't potentially have him available as well. Gaza is saying, surely this will give Moyes a kick up the arse working with a thin squad. Absolutely it will. Absolutely it will. So, as we know, West Ham head into Thursday's tie with Sevilla, knowing we need to win at the London Stadium in order to have a chance of progressing into the quarterfinals of the Europa League. And we'll have to give them a really good night. We will have to give them a good night. And the players will all have to be in good spirits and ready to go. David Moyes did speak, though. He said, quite often in football, the goals come around, so I'm hoping I get them in the next 3 games before the international break. We need to be sharper. We need to be quicker to the ball in the box. We need to be more aggressive. All those things get us over the line. We did a lot of good things the other night, and we just didn't take the opportunities that they got. He said Sevilla were without some players, and we were too. And for us to go there and be competitive and have a good opportunity in the second leg and give themselves a chance, he hopes he hears the noise that he did the night when he was playing against Sevilla in Seville, inside the London Stadium. It was a great atmosphere, and they dragged their team through it in the second half, and that is the way to support the side. So let's see how many, and let's see if the fans can get behind the team. That will be huge. But moving on, in other news though, and something that people may not have known about this as well, is that UEFA have confirmed that West Ham duo Declan Rice and Manuel Lanzini face a Europa League ban as we gear up for the game to Sevilla. And I'll tell you why. The two key players will be walking on disciplinary tightropes in the all-or-nothing match. So, after the first leg last week, 2 West Ham stars faced the prospect of quarter-final bans if we were to get through the second leg versus Sevilla. And because there's been loads of changes to UEFA's disciplinary rules over the years, it's led to some confusion over how the suspension system works. So players booked 3 times from the Europa League group stages up to and including the quarter-final stage get a 1-match ban. So West Ham will benefit from this week because the Sevilla danger man, Ocampos, will be suspended for the second leg at the London Stadium following his yellow card after the flashpoint where West Ham, during the kind of, face-to-face with Declan Rice in the last game. But Lanzini was also booked in that game. And now it's been confirmed that Rice and Lanzini would face a Europa League ban in the quarterfinal first leg if they were booked against Sevilla tomorrow night. Like I said, they were both booked in the Europa League group stages as West Ham qualified for the last 16 by topping the group. And again, they were both picked up a yellow card in the first leg at Seville too. And that means if either of them pick up a booking, and as we're trying to desperately turn this tie around in the second leg, they'll be suspended for the first leg of the quarterfinal should we qualify. In an ideal world, with a better squad, Moyes wouldn't have to worry about that situation. But losing either would be a big blow if West Ham were to qualify. And West Ham, and Rice in particular, given the position that he plays, can't afford to tread on eggshells in the second leg. So I wonder if that would have any form of playing in the mindset for these players. The only thing I would say is maybe it won't, because there's 2 legs. So because we need these guys performing on the highest of standards that they possibly can. We don't want Rice sitting there thinking, if I pick up a yellow card, I'm out in the next game. You know what? Forget the cards, remove them from your mindset. Lanzini, remove them from your mindset. Turn up, do the job, get the job done, get us to the next round, and we'll deal with that as it comes into the next round. And the next round is also a 2-legged affair. So if you did pick it up, then you would then miss that first leg, but you'll be available for the second leg. So this is undoubtedly our biggest match over the last 2 decades. And let's hope it's going to be a magical night. So much stuff to update you with as well. Peter, please join me. Please join me. I do want to talk about it just now, but we have to kind of keep some of the stuff for the preview as well. So come and join me, because there is some big updates from players that are potentially going to be available and not available for the game itself. David is saying Bowen is my favourite player right now. I'm gutted he is injured. Go for it. Put the predictions in. We'll do that in the preview later on. But if you are watching right now, give me your predictions for tomorrow night as well. Don't park your car anywhere near my place tonight. Some really random chats going on there. Thing is, if you hold back, it could mean we don't get through. Absolutely. Lots of rumours about Bowen. Hopefully Moyes will put us right later on today. He will, and hopefully it's not going to be as bad as we think. I think Bowen is a cyborg. He is out because he is recharging. You wouldn't be surprised, would you? And as long as everyone gives 100% tomorrow night, I can't expect any more, win or lose. Gaza, we absolutely do need Benrahma to step up tomorrow night, 100 million %. It's a big opportunity for him to do the job for West Ham. Now, listen, that brings you the kind of latest update on West Ham today. We are expecting Antonio, let me give you a rundown again. Antonio, 50-50 for the game tomorrow. Cresswell should be available for the game tomorrow. We're expecting Vlasic to be back for the game tomorrow, but we're not expecting Jarrod Bowen or Vladimir Coufal for potentially the next couple of games, which is disappointing. But we have enough in our tank. We absolutely do, to get the job done, as Peachy Boy has been saying in the chat as well. Mark Alexander's going for a 3-1 West Ham win. What a massive result that would be. Steve Bell's going for a 3-1. Is that 3-1 on aggregate or 3-1 on the night? But either way, it's a win for West Ham, and we'll absolutely take that. Now, listen, that brings it into today's show. Come and join me at 5 o'clock or for the Hammers headlines as well. And then at 9 o'clock, you will be getting the preview, the big match preview for Sevilla. Take it easy. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and come on, you Irons.
It's like a family tree, part of you and part of me. And if we should separate,